Ladies of the hit CBS daytime show are back in New York City. I don't think any of them can help Harry with the process. They're all spoken for this time.
Cheryl is volunteering.
Stand in line, Sheryl. The talk is now in its 5th season and recently won a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Special Class Writing. Hosts Julie Chen, Sharon Osbourne, Sheryl Underwood, who's volunteering, and Aisha Tyler are here back at the table. I want to start with the news of the day, Julie, because how well do you know Les Moonves? That story that they had with that billionaire who sent all of his employees to Paris.
Oh, Gail.
I'm wondering if you have any clout that you could just mention it next time you see him.
Are you proposing he bring the same number of CBS employees, or maybe just you and me? You and me, I can swing that.
What about us?
Yeah, I don't count. Yes,
And you are who?
5D. All right. No, but us, just this table, and of course Sarah Gilbert.
Yes, Sarah Gilbert, because she's off having that. She's already had the baby, a little boy, and she's at home recovering.
Is growing so fast every day. She's been back at work a few weeks. But you know what? With nursing and traveling with a newborn, we said you need to take care of baby and stay home, and we will hold down the fort, and that is why, Gail, you're coming to help us out on the Friday show.
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it.
What day is this?
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. But you tape it every day, so you won't miss it. But Charlie's got it covered. But see, you guys were here. You were talking about Mother's Day. We were talking about Mother's Day and the celebration. Yeah. You guys went yesterday. Tell us what you did.
Leslie and I brought our 5-year-old Charlie to the Whitney Museum, exposed him to oh my goodness.
The new Whitney downtown.
New Whitney downtown. We went to brunch there, and then we walked around the museum. Then we went to Central Park, because I started an annual Mother's Day tradition, which is always getting Charlie's sketch drawn by one of those Central Park artists.
Every year?
Every year. We started it last year.
Good.
So.
But Sharon, I have to say this about your daughter Kelly, because there's a book out, Letters to My Mom, and Kelly wrote this about you. Like all teenage girls, I had this ridiculous fear of growing up and becoming just like you. Why have I been fighting the inevitable for so long? You are the most beautiful, kind, generous, loving, and let's not forget, strongest person I've ever met. And the best part is you are my mom. That's in a book by Lisa Erstheimer called Letters to My Mom. What a touching thing for a daughter to say about her mother, because a mother-daughter conflict can be very strong.
Very, very strong. And I think it's something that we all go through, where I want to be my own person. I'm not my mom. I have my own views on life. And then I think it's, her turning 30 and also me being of an age where I accept her for what she is, she accepts me. So it's kind of, our relationship is in a whole different phase right now.
The phases do change as your kids grow up. They change, and they're supposed to.
Did you know Gail's 2 kids surprised her for Mother's Day? They flew in and surprised her. It was so sweet.
Yeah, because both of them said they wouldn't be able to make it. And I had a bit of an attitude that I was going to speak about it on Monday.
Shamed them into this?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Shamed?
No, Charlie, I was going to speak on it on Monday.
So they knew.
So they knew something was coming.
So let me just ask this. You guys have so much success, and there are lots of places where people get around a table and talk. What's special and different, and why the talk?
I think 5 years in, we know we're fortunate that we have a unique relationship. And you know how it is when you're building a show. Some of it's just alchemy, it's magic, it doesn't always work. We've definitely been lucky. But I was just talking about somebody this morning. The other thing I think we have for our show is there's so many shows with women that are conflict driven, that are about unkindness and this sense that, like, it's a zero-sum game and everybody's got to win at the expense of everybody else. And I think we really feel like we're a team. And we treat each other like teammates. We respect each other. We can disagree without it turning into something damaging. And it's a joy to come to work every day. And I think that comes across on the show. When people watch, they feel as if they're a part of something that feels collaborative and fun, and we laugh every day.
Stanley McChrystal was just here talking about teams, and he said sometimes you have to make a decision that is best for the group.
That's right.
And I think that's very true when you do these kind of shows. You have to make a decision that's best for the group.
Absolutely, and I think that we appreciate each other's opinions and thoughts. We kind of entertain, enlighten, and empower together as one voice with the audience and the community.
And the other thing he said about great teams, too, is that you can finish each other's sentences, which you guys can do.
I was dying to jump in and finish her thought, but to answer Charlie's original question, because we don't do that, and we are always interested in hearing what the others have to say. I think that's what makes, that's a big piece of why our show works.
Yeah. And speaking of what others have to say, because we have to get to this bite, Aisha, sorry. Kevin Frazier, who has co-hosted on the show too, did an interview with Sissy Houston where she's talking for the first time about her granddaughter, Bobby Christina, who remains in the hospital.
We go to the hospital every day and pray, and, you know, I talk to her because she can still hear, you know. And I rub her hand or whatever, you know, and whatnot. My daughter-in-law and my son, you know, all of it. So we do what we can do. The rest is we can't do anything about because that's all up to him. We know nothing about his plan.
I know, Sheryl, you went, that's right.
Absolutely, because she's going to wait on God. She's prayed up and she's ready for God to speak. But I like the fact that they're doing things as a family, that Bobby is involved in this as her father, and that you got the daughter-in-law, you know, that's married to a son, right? And then you got Sissy and you got the family. That's the only thing you can do. You know, the doctors can do the best that they can, but if you prayed up and you know that God will speak, you wait for God to speak and accept his answer.
And we know that prayer works.
Amen.
Thank you, girls. We'll see you later on. We'll see you later on.
See you very soon, Gail.
I will be there. What to wear, what to wear. You can catch The Talk in New York all this week at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central and Pacific, and Kevin Frazier's full interview with Sissy Houston this evening on Entertainment Tonight. Check your local listings.